Hello, this is a very quick look at the Pebble Time Steel. This has arrived very recently. I've been using this now for just over a week and I'm really pleased with it. I got this off Kickstarter. So on the back it says it's a Kickstarter backer edition. They've stuck with the magnetic charging. This uses a different cable to the original Pebble, so make sure you use this one instead, and that just slips on the back. If you already own a Pebble, a previous Pebble, you'll know that the battery life on these things is phenomenal, and the same is true here. This is currently at 80%. I've been losing about 10% per day, and that's with getting quite a few messages, emails, what have you. And in the evenings I've shut this down. I don't need it on overnight, and it's easily lasted me a week. Similar to previous Pebbles as well, is you've got the same button set up, but they're much nicer. So you've got one button on the left, three on the right, and that's how you control the new interface. The new interface is really slick, so here you can see if I press up, it goes up and shows me what I had this morning. I had to take the car for an MOT. When I press down, it comes to the current time, and then you can move forwards to see what's going on later on today, tomorrow, the day after that. If nothing's in your calendar, it will show you predicted weather, and you get to the end, it says, Finn, you can't go any further. I really like the new interface, and I really like the animations that they've put with it. It's very slick. You can see here as I'm going around, it's scrolling really quickly, and you wouldn't think that this was e-ink. This paper stuff is absolutely brilliant. It's come a long way since the original Pebble. You still have access to the previous apps and watch faces. So here I'm using Misfit as an activity tracker, and I really liked Leaf as well. This is another app I expect I'll be using over the winter months. This allows me to control my Nest from my watch, which is a brilliant addition. If you need to go back and check a previous notification, you can now do that. It's very easy. You just scroll through. You can clear all these if you want. Otherwise, you can go down and actually read them on your wrist rather than having to pull out your phone. So here's a few emails I've had. So thank you very much for subscribing. And you can scroll through. So it's a really nice system. Very easy to use once you get the hang of it. I've already had an account with Pebble, so it preloaded a number of apps and watch faces for me, and it also had a few extra ones. So this is a really nice countdown timer. The little animations going up just shows you how good the screen is, and then it vibrates on your wrist when it's done. It's very subtle, the vibration as well. People won't really notice. Another great feature is you can now assign a quick launch to the right hand up and down buttons. So I have the up button activating the music controllers. That's what I use when I'm out and about. So rather than having to go into the menus, I simply hold up and it brings up the music system. As with previous Pebbles, the big draw here is the huge number of interfaces that you can get hold of. It really helps customize the watch that you've got so many. Some are animated, some are static, some are very bold in color, some are pastel colors. There really is a massive choice. Most of these are freely available. Some you might want to purchase. You can get some packs. I do find, such as that interface there, the pastel colors look better on your phone than they do on the watch. The e-paper isn't always very good at subtle colors. It needs far stronger colors. If a watch face isn't on, as you can see here, it just loads it up very quickly. It's a very, very easy to use system, much easier than the original Pebble. As with the previous Pebble, if it's a bit tricky to see what the time is, you can flick your wrist and that activates a backlight. And overall, there's such a wide variety. You'll have a watch face for every situation. So you can have a nice smart watch face, a bit of a funky watch face, and if you really desire the old school watch faces, you can load those up as well. They now tend to look a little bit jagged, and it would be nice to see some of the old faces updated to take account of the higher resolution screen. One thing that bothered me about the original Pebble was that the menu was a bit clunky and I couldn't always get to things very quickly. In this, you can now customize the menu by reordering it. So at the moment, I've got the stopwatch ahead of the timer. I use the timer more. So in the app, I'm going to drag that above the timer but below watch faces. And now when I go back to the Pebble, you'll see that instead of it being under the stopwatch, if we just go out and in just to demonstrate this, you'll see what I mean. We go back into the menu, so there's watch face, and down there's timer. I've used the original Pebble for about a year, but I have to say, putting these next to each other now, I wouldn't go back at all. The new one is just so much better. The charger's on the back, and even though the buttons are in roughly the same position, they're of a much higher quality. One thing that stayed the same is the excellent notification system when you get emails and texts. However, now you've got a pretty cool feature, which is the ability to reply using your voice. We'll come back to that in a second. You can still use templates, which you can type up, so you can very easily reply that way, or you can send back an emojicon, If you want, you just hit one of those and press send. But it's all about the voice reply now. Very easy. Press the button, say what you need to say. Just reviewing it now, will be done shortly. And after it's had a little think about it, you'll see the text come up on the screen before it's sent. That way, if it's made a mistake, if it hasn't heard you, you do need to have the watch quite close for this to work properly. You can always go back and try again. If you're happy with it, you simply press the middle button to say you're happy, and that will now send the message off. One thing I've not been able to demonstrate for you here is the different watch straps. I've only got one watch strap. I'm very happy with the watch strap. It can be replaced quite easily, but I don't have anything to replace it with yet. I've yet to receive the steel band that I'm due. However, overall, I'm very happy with the Pebble. I'm very happy with the watch strap. I think the interface is fantastic. This is a brilliant improvement over the original. I hope you found this short review useful. Thanks for watching.